So my daughter had her wisdom teeth extracted a few days ago, and it has been a journey. We're like on day 3. And as you can see, I am exhausted. We are exhausted. So today I just want to talk to you about through, going through and not shortcutting the process. My name is Jennifer Mitchell Early. I help individuals and teams achieve organizational and personal success. And this is Leadership Matters, a very early edition. So my daughter had her wisdom teeth extracted a couple of days ago. We are on day 3, and we were as prepared as we could be. We read, we consulted with our surgeon. We thought we were good to go, and that it would be a fairly straightforward process. She needed to have all 4 of her wisdom teeth removed. She had 3 bony teeth and 1 non-bony, all impacted. And so I took her for the procedure, and it took just a smidge longer than I anticipated based on what they said to me. And I found out when, after recovery, when they rolled her out, that they literally had to break up the teeth in order to remove them. And so the first day, she was understandably a little loopy. They did put her under, but she wasn't in any significant pain, right? In fact, she was like, please don't make me stay in the bed. Let me, do other things. I can still move. I can still, blah, blah, blah. And I was very adamant that no, you get in the bed and you rest. So probably towards the evening, she started to feel a little bit more pain. And, we had started our course of medication. But that night it wasn't bad. I think I was able to make her comfortable with the meds. And then moving into the next day, she was, that morning it was really bad. We didn't stay ahead of the pain, clearly. And so we tried to regroup. And the medication she was given was an opioid, and we had to take one every 6 hours. And so, with it being an opioid, obviously, I was concerned and I'm cautious, and I'm trying to use wisdom and, follow every direction so we don't have any issues with it, but also to enable her to have the comfort that she needs from it, for it to do its job. And yesterday, as the day progressed, the first day, the first full 24 hours as the day progressed, during the day, like with everything else, you're pretty good. It's the nighttime that's the worst time. So that second night, it was really, really bad. That's when we started, she couldn't sleep. I started losing sleep because I started getting us on a regimen of every 3 hours, alternating between ibuprofen and her opioid, and, gaining some momentum as it relates to staying ahead of the pain. And, we did really well. She felt really good yesterday, too good. You get in these windows of life, right? And I'm just going to use her surgery as, an example. And I'm tired, so it's going to be hard for me to string some of these thoughts together. So y'all just kind of work with me and follow me as I flow. But we get into seasons of life, right? We get into valleys during our journey, and I've talked about the valley experience before. And the valley is designed for us to learn some life lessons and to, it's a foundation, it's a building block for where we're going, for destiny and for purpose. But sometimes in the middle of valleys are dry, they're barren, they're uncomfortable, they chafe our skin. They sometimes push us to our limits, to the point where we feel like we can't take it anymore. And so as I think about my daughter's reaction to her surgery and her pain and her journey, this morning last night she made the decision, and my daughter is 18. She made the decision that she didn't want to continue with the opioid. She just kind of wanted to ride it out. All her reading said that in 3 days she should be good, and that, she would wake up today and miraculously be back to life, back to her friends, back to going to work, back to feeling good. And this morning she woke me up devastated because she wasn't all good. She wasn't back to normal. The pain was still there, and she was in a position now where she was no longer the momentum that we built in taking medication every so many hours to stay ahead of the pain was now gone. And so now we had to be scrappy, right? She had to endure in order to wait for the pain medication to, do its job again, because all that was in her system was gone. And I just thought about it during my quiet time. In the valley, we get to a point where we feel like we can no longer endure and we just want it to be over. Like my daughter, we get frustrated in the process, and we're crying out to the Lord like she was crying this morning, just in pain and in frustration, ready to have it over. And I just wanted to come on and say, don't shortcut the process. There are things that we're supposed to get in our valley experiences. There's healings that are supposed to take place, that when we don't get what we need and we shortcut it, we circumvent that and we jump into something else, not being fully equipped for it and for where we're going, which only prolongs the process. Just like this morning, and trying to get back ahead of the pain, she has prolonged this process to a degree. And let me just say this: I don't care what has transpired for other people in other situations, albeit similar to yours. We each have a journey. We each have our own experience, our own relationship with the divine or with the Lord or whomever you're looking to for spiritual guidance. And we are unique. Just like we don't share fingerprints, we're not going to share experiences to the T. So although my daughter's friends had gone, a couple of them had their wisdom teeth removed, and they were partying the next day and driving, and life went on as usual, it doesn't mean that they would have identical experiences. That was a benchmark. That was, something to, like a guide, a framework, a skeleton. But that is not exactly what's going to happen. For my daughter, her experience has been more traumatic. Her surgery has been a little bit different than other surgeries. Her mouth was small to begin with. She had, the teeth were impacted. They had to be broken up. There was a lot of trauma that took place in her mouth to remove those teeth during the process. And if she shortcuts this window of healing, she's going to prolong the healing. It's going to take her mouth longer to heal. So I'm going to say to you all what I said to her: don't rush the process. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, you are exhausted. Look at me. I am exhausted. But this, for whatever reason, is the process. And it's important that we take away from the process what it was designed to impart to us, whatever those lessons are. Patience. My daughter is learning now patience. Don't get ahead of your body. Follow your body. Let your body tell you when it's time. Yes, I want to be done with the narcotic and the opioid. And we will set up a plan. It can't be impulsive. It can't be without thought. It can't be without rhyme or reason. It is a process. So whatever you're going through, you have to go through it. You cannot, it's not going to serve you to shortcut it because all it's going to do is prolong it. You'll be there longer. So go through it, get from it what you can. Try to try to change your perspective on it. Try to stay ahead of it if you can. Stay in lockstep, be prayerful, meditate, check on yourself. Let you guide you. Be self-aware through the process. Just like I tell my daughter, don't get ahead of your body. Be prayerful through the process. I promise that this too shall pass. So I just wanted to encourage you. I know that sometimes I talk about, whatever I felt led to talk about. And so I think these all apply to leadership, because even in leadership, there's going to definitely be valleys. There's going to be definite times where the process is painful. And as a leader, you have to endure. And not only do you have to endure, but all eyes on you. You actually have to lead by example. So don't shortcut the process. In the process is purpose. Have a great one.